1, 2, 3, 4.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's right, the big dick is here. Get ready. May we start?
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another Tasty Tuesdays talk. I am Zebra, and today on the show, I have Christopher Leon.
Yes. What's good, Z?
What's going on? How you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. Tell the people who Christopher Leon is.
Okay. My name is Christopher Leon. I am from the Midwest. I was born in St. Louis. And I've been living here in LA for almost 5 years now. I've been doing music here. Just released an album that I've been kind of putting on my own tour for the past few months. And now I'm here with Z.
And then you decided to do the album We Are Healing shortly after that, or was it already in the works that you wanted to do something?
So the reason, so I was like, I was in a deep, dark, depression for a while, and I was trying to figure out ways to get through it, and of course, just because I'm so closed off and like I talk so little about like what's going on inside to like anyone around me, it was like killing me. And then one night I was writing to this beat, and I was thinking in my head, if I ever wrote a suicide note, what would it sound like? And that's when I wrote Shame, which is the second to last song on the album. It's like the climax. And it's like a letter to my sister, my parents, my ex, and then just me talking, about myself. And as I was writing that, I was thinking if this was it, if this was like my last thing that like I released, just this song, people would listen to that song and be like, yo, how did you get here? What is it? Like how? Like what? Because, I'm on social media a lot, and I'm happy and I'm goofy and I'm making jokes and all that. And all my friends always know me as smiling and, laughing and stuff. So for me to release something that incredibly dark would be like, yo, how? We've never seen this coming. So my goal with the album was to show people how I got to that place. And
which was just successfully done.
That's what I did. Well, thank you. No, absolutely. Because I was so desperate that I went to a therapist for the first time.
How was Joyce?
Joyce, yeah. So so Joyce is my friend. Shout out to Joyce.
So I was going to ask you about that.
She was playing my real therapist, of course.
Joyce, great voice.
She did, right?
Yeah, she's great. Sounds like I would want her as my therapist. So comforting.
She's great. So I went to therapy for the first time, and there's always a stigma with like therapy, and I grew up with that too. I thought therapy was like for crazy people. You only go there for like the worst reasons. I didn't even know why you went to therapy. But I was just stuck, and I didn't know like what to do, and I needed someone to talk to. So I tried therapy, and then I told myself the very first time that I went, I was like, look, you need to like say everything that you can and just get it out there, and you're gonna feel better. And that was my only mission, was just to say all the worst stuff that I was feeling, just so that it was there, and just so I could like have told someone, So I went there, and the first song on the album is called Trauma, and that's where I'm talking to my therapist. And that entire song was what I said to my therapist the very first time. I told her all about my childhood stuff, just how I was feeling.
You rapped it to her?
Yeah, exactly. I was rhyming and everything. And so I just I like laid it all out there. Just because I had seen like so many movies of like people in therapy, and they like never say all the things. And I'd always watch the movie and be like, why don't you just say the thing, And so I was like, don't be like that, just say it. And so I did. And it helped, and it was great. And I was going to therapy for weeks, and I was loving it. But then COVID happened. I lost my job. I lost my insurance. So I lost my therapist. And then that's what happens at the end of Ali, the third track, when Joyce comes back. And she, and then once I lost my therapist, I was just like, oh, well, I have no one, you know?
Because it was the first time you actually could talk to someone.
Yeah.
Well, how was that first? You said you laid it all out in that first session, and it was. How did you feel?
Was it scary? Scary at first, but then once I did it, it was great because I realized that whenever I kept coming back, every time I was saying something, my therapist, she was able to be like, oh, well, this kind of reminds me of, you remember whenever you told me this about your childhood, and now you see. And then it was like she was like connecting things for me. And so in my mind, I was
because your
like,
mind's going so
oh,
fast, right?
yeah.
It's so many things.
Yeah. And I'm only thinking like in present time. I'm not thinking about what hurt me as a kid, and I'm still holding on to that. And like, so, so that's why it was like that's why it was so great. And
Was the therapist an inspiration for your album then? Kind of like to
well,
put pieces together?
absolutely. Absolutely. And honestly, I was just trying to tell like a true story that was like a consecutive story, you know, like start when I started, which was therapy, me for the first time sharing my feelings, and then go from there. And that's kind of exactly how it was. It was like the past year of my life, like how I got to as bad a place as I had gotten to. So yeah, whenever I was writing, I was just thinking of it as like get it all out there, say everything you can because it will make you feel better. And then whenever your friends and your family listen to this, then from now on, if something happens, they'll be like, oh, this reminds me of that time. And so this is where, so it was just an excuse for me to be able to
tantrum.
Like, for real,
This is
seriously. Yeah. Yeah, but right now I'm just I'm very excited to work with other artists. I'm very excited to work with other artists.
And you're in LA, so like there's
yeah.
many artists to work with.
Hell yeah. So anyone listening, Christopher Leon Music on all your social medias, hit me up and say you want to work on something because I need it. But yeah, I'm very excited for the future. I'm having a blast doing these shows, even though they're really emotional. And since I'm being so honest and open, that a lot of people are doing that to me. But I get
they're opening up to you.
I get DMs and messages and voice memos of people crying, talking about what they're going through, and they just listened to this and then they felt comfortable like telling me this. So now I feel like I'm the therapist for other people, which is something
that's amazing.
I did not know was going to happen, you know, but
music is so powerful
and
in that regard.
I'm very happy that people are like comfortable to talk about that kind of stuff with me.
Because you're not the only one. You had this situation, but there's a lot of other people going through the same exact thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But it is intimidating because I don't have all the answers. Like all I did was talk about my stuff. I didn't say I had it all figured out, you know? So all I can do
Give
is
him Joyce's number.
Yeah, exactly. And so no, it's a cool and interesting role that I've kind of just passively just kind of obtained. And I really love having moments with people. So performing this album and then talking to them afterwards, everyone always has something to say. And it's just nice to hear other people's stories. And it also helps me because I'm like, I really am not alone because I'm not the only one who's, you know, was going through this kind of stuff. Yeah, and I just hope that I can keep making the type of music that keeps people so comfortable to, you know, to believe me and talk to me and, you know, to also know that they have someone who's like telling the story of all of us, you know? Yeah, so I really love it and I'm very excited.
Would there be any advice you would give to anyone
Yes.
going through the same thing that you went through?
Communicate. Everyone says communication is key, but like literally communication is key. You just have to learn how to communicate in a healthy way. That's not shouting all the time whenever you're fed up. Talk about the little things before the little things become big things, you know, and also realize that everyone isn't going to be able to hear you and love you the way that you want to be heard and loved. And so work on you could try to teach them how to do it, but also don't get so stuck on trying to teach someone how to do it that you like lose yourself in the teaching. Sometimes you really do have to step back and be like, okay, we just aren't the same. We don't have the same love language. You're not learning mine. I'm not learning yours. This isn't gonna work. And that goes for loved ones and friends and family. A lot of people are like stuck in shitty family relationships literally because you're family. And you know that if you weren't family, you would have nothing to do with someone. But like for some reason, that's the thing that like always holds you together. And that's beautiful. Like that is the beautiful thing about family. But sometimes that can hold you back, especially if you like let all that stuff fester and get into your everyday life. So protect your peace and communicate and tell everyone what is on your mind. And if they can't handle it, then understand that maybe that relationship just isn't for you. And that's it for now. Thanks for the TED Talk.
Well, I mean, you want to end it there?
My name is Christopher Leon. I want to thank you so much for having me, Z.
All right. How can we find you?
Christopher Leon Music on everything. I'm usually on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. Christopher Leon on all your streaming platforms. The album is called We're All Healing. Come through on Saturday the 16th at the Sassafras Saloon at 10 p.m. on Vine Street in LA.
All right. Thank you, Christopher Leon.
Thank you, dude.
All right.
Yeah. I just want to get right. I just want to play nice. I don't want no more fights. Can we put that on nice? Can we put it on life? That we gonna try to get right. I don't want.
You're listening to the Tastemakers
with Zebra and Jeebs
on Dash Radio.